Namaste y bienvenidos, amados compañeros.
Thank you for your devotion to truth and to join to hear what Jesus has to say about
Gracias
guidance.
por su devoción a la verdad y por venir a escuchar a Jesús, lo que nos tiene que decir acerca de la guía. Lo que nos tiene que decir
So the only way to of supreme happiness is 100% following.
porque la suprema felicidad se logra siguiendo al 100% su guía
And 100% attentive to the voice.
y 100% atender su voz.
And the only way to hear 100% clearly is to say unequivocal yes to the last unanswered question.
Y por eso decir sí a la última pregunta no contestada. What about the last unanswered question?
Is an unequivocal yes,
Es
100%
un,
yes.
ese es decir un 100% sí.
And the devotion to whatever it takes to see the truth.
Y la devoción a ver lo que es la verdad, no importa qué.
It's, am I willing to see the truth because it's been denied?
Estoy dispuesto a ver la verdad porque estoy dispuesto a ver lo que
And
es verdad porque lo he negado.
so along the way, he's going to help us gain the confidence that that following is the only way to heaven, basically.
Él a lo largo del camino nos va mostrando y nos va dando la confianza de que seguir su guía es lo mejor.
Otherwise, we're investing in the bank of limitation.
Sí, y no, de lo contrario, estamos invirtiendo en el banco de la limitación.
So I invited Renee to join us tonight because we we need those reflections of following Jesus.
Y he invitado a René para que nos acompañe en esta sesión porque es importante ver las reflexiones de lo que es seguir a Jesús
And devotion to following,
y la devoción a seguirlo.
even when it's going to seem in strange or crazy in the ways of the world.
Aunque parezca en las formas del mundo extraño o loco.
So, about 5 or 6 weeks ago, we had heard that Jesus was going to send Renee on an assignment outside of the center.
Hace como unas 6 semanas escuchamos de Jesús que René debería ir a una asignación fuera del centro.
And this is a very deep trust because she did not want to leave.
Y esa fue una gran confianza porque ella no quería irse.
But we prayed on it and we could hear it. You can ask Jesus now, Jesus, was that most helpful for healing the mind for Renee to go on assignment? Yes or no? Just listen deeply.
Entonces, escuchen profundamente y pregunten si eso fue, aceptar esa asignación fue lo más útil para la sanación de la mente.
Okay, because the guidance is for the whole, and so we'll all hear it.
Porque la guía es para todos y por eso todos la podemos escuchar.
So was in trust, and so she had about maybe 2 or 3 weeks notice before she was leaving.
Eso fue confianza, pero what about the 3 weeks?
She had about 3 or 4 weeks before she was leaving the center, and
Entonces ella ya sabía como 3 o 4 semanas antes de irse del centro.
so Renee's been very deep devotion and been carried by Jesus.
Y René ha estado muy devota y cuidada por Jesús.
So she basically has the clothes that she has in her suitcases.
Así que simplemente tiene la ropa en sus maletas.
And we heard she was going to Texas.
Y escuchamos que ella debía ir
Very good.
a Texas.
Mary can add to this too, because she was here when this was all happening.
Mary conoce esto porque ella estaba aquí.
So it's very deep trust to get on a bus and be told you're going somewhere east of Dallas from Mexico.
Y se requiere mucha confianza porque es tomar el bus e ir desde México hasta Dallas.
And the only thing we didn't hear much other than she was to start calling ministers on east side of Dallas and ask them if we heard that her function was to care for someone, live in care, provide live in care.
Em, y escuchamos que ella tenía que ir al sur de Dallas a ponerse en contacto con ministros. Eh, what about the take care what? Sorry.
To be a live-in caretaker for someone for part of her
Eh,
assignment.
la parte de la asignación era que viviera con alguien.
So it was a very big stretch assignment for her to just start calling and trying to talk to ministers.
Y así que fue muy retante para ella comenzar a ponerse en contacto con estos ministros.
But she trusted.
Pero ella confió.
You know, it was a little bit hesitate, maybe not fully dive in. It's most helpful when we get guidance to dive in, but she started making preparations for her trip.
Y entonces ella hizo preparaciones para su viaje y aunque tenía pues dudas.
So this was a very deep trust assignment for all of us too.
De hecho, esto fue una gran confianza para todos nosotros.
So she got on the bus without knowing exactly where she was going to go other than east of Dallas somewhere.
Y ella se montó al bus sin saber a dónde iba. Lo único que sabía es que iba al sur de Dallas.
Now she can tell you, I'll let her, if she ends up on, tell you all what Jesus was telling her and where she was following and not following, but she was very much in touch with us and learning to follow, let's put it that way.
Ella estuvo muy en contacto con nosotros para recibir apoyo y para recibir la guía.
So it's helpful to emphasize, like if we're given an assignment, you just got to take it full. So she was taking a lot of it, but a little bit tentative. But she went for it. She got on that bus and she went all the way from Guadalajara up and ended up, and then we could hear, okay, you're going to Tyler, Texas, where she arrived at about 1 a.m.
Bueno, y entonces ella tomó la asignación, aunque pues solamente había como cierta prevención. Y tomó el bus desde Guadalajara todo hacia el norte.
So it's, I don't know, is that like well, I think it's 14 hours to Houston, so Dallas is 5 hours beyond that. So it had to be almost 20-hour trip or something. It might have been 24 hours.
Fue un viaje más o menos de 24 horas.
So then she got off the bus and went over, someone took her, I guess, to Denny's.
Y entonces ella se bajó del bus y alguien la llevó a tenis.
So we heard, you know, that wasn't in guidance from Jesus. So then Jesus moved her to a hotel.
Entonces escuchamos que eso no estaba en guía por Jesús y él la movió a un hotel.
And almost every day for at least 2 weeks, over 2 weeks, he moved her to a different place.
Y más o menos cada día la movió a ella como por 20 días a diferentes lugares.
But we just knew this is so perfect. It was so perfect.
Y fue absolutamente perfecto.
And she was just to continue that assignment, contacting ministers to see if ministers, you know, I don't know how Jesus came up with ministers, but he said contact ministers, ask them if they know anyone. She's looking at home care assignments, and she ended up in a place where a guy let her barter to stay at his place a night or two. I think Pat, 3 nights at
Two
Pat's.
nights at
Pat.
Pat's, and I think 3 nights at Matt. Was it Matt? Matthew?
So she
Yeah.
ended up finding beings that were going to let her barter the Airbnbs, and she started for cleaning. It was really beautiful.
Fue muy hermoso porque ella comenzó a hacer su tarea, su asignación de ponerse en contacto con estos ministros y de hecho no sabía no, no se sabe ni siquiera cuál es el tema de unirse con estos ministros. Y ya obtuvo un lugar para vivir
And
por 3 días.
so one of them, Mark, the last one she stayed, that where she stayed 3 nights, he wanted to talk to me, like, and
Y,
find out
y una de estas personas que estuvo donde estuvo René por 3 días quería hablar conmigo.
because he felt she was listening to me too much, and she could go across the street and get a job at a restaurant across the street. It was going to be impossible for her to find this care position.
I couldn't get it. Okay, can you say again?
So he told me that it was going to be almost impossible to find the position she's looking for, and she really needed to go to. And he's a good guy. I mean, he was wonderful to her, but he was very concerned.
Y ella encontró a una persona que estaba un poco preocupada porque decía que era muy difícil que ella obtuviera el trabajo que ella quería.
But this is really where you have to keep your feet glued to Jesus, and I was glued to Jesus going and I knew it. I knew this was so helpful.
Y yo sabía que esto era muy útil y por eso tenemos que seguir a Jesús.
See, once you say yes to the last unanswered question, that is the way you're going to be willing to see everything, and that is the way you're going to hear Jesus 100%. You're gonna hear it 100%.
Y cuando
Okay.
tú has contestado la última pregunta, vas a comenzar a escuchar a Jesús 100%.
Because you're unwilling not to hear it. You see, you're unwilling to hear anything other than that.
Y porque ya no tienes la voluntad de escuchar nada más que eso.
But you could say, I mean, it was very, for her, it was, I know it's the right thing to do, but he was not letting her feet get comfortable anywhere.
Y yo sé que es útil para ella, pero él no dejaba que ella se sintiera, eh, feel no comfortable, sorry.
He was not letting her settle anywhere because she needed to
Ok,
look.
ok. Él no quería que ella se quedara en un solo sitio, quería que se moviera.
And she saw that she had the desire, we could hear it, that she had the desire for the experience of homelessness.
Y lo podemos escuchar, ella tenía el deseo de no tener un hogar.
So she stayed a couple more days with Mark, and then we heard, okay, you're moving again.
Y estuvo como 3 o 4 días con Mark y luego fue movida nuevamente.
So she packed up and she went to a hotel. She followed. She
Ella,
was just following.
y ella simplemente lo estaba siguiendo, sí, dijo, empacó y se fue a un hotel.
And the next day we heard, okay, you're pack up again. You got to pack up again.
Y entonces, y al otro día escuchamos que tenía que empacar nuevamente.
And we heard that she had an appointment to meet with a minister that day.
Y,
But
y
she had to get out
escuchamos
of the
que ella
hotel.
tenía, escuchamos que ella tenía que reunirse con un ministro ese día.
It turns out that this minister has an 84-year-old mother with
Y,
Alzheimer.
y encontramos que este ministro tenía una mamá con 84 años y que tenía Alzheimer.
So she wanted to talk to me, the minister, what is going on with, what is going on. So I spoke to her on the phone. I'm driving in the car, talked to her on the phone about Jesus. Everything we do is Jesus.
Ok, y entonces él quería hablar conmigo, yo hablé con él cuando yo estaba en el carro.
Okay. And then every time I'd say something about Renee's following Jesus and Jesus sent her to Tyler, that preacher was going, Amen.
Y cuando le dijimos que simplemente René estaba siguiendo a Jesús y que había sido guiada allá, él dijo amén.
So they picked Renee up to meet her, to take her to meet the mother. They took her to lunch, fed her, took her to their house. They went and bought a bed, and she got adopted right into that minister's family.
Y entonces René se fue con él y fue como adoptada por esta familia del ministro.
They're going to give her all the training she needs. She's on the night shift. She still has some spaciousness to attend the joinings.
Y bueno, entonces ella va a estar en un hogar donde va a poder tener tiempo para las uniones.
Let me tell you, this puts me on my knees. Let me see if I can. I don't know if the
Esto
knees.
me puso de rodillas.
Here's in the pastors texting me, sending me emails. Don't worry, we're going to take care of her. Okay, we're here at my
Eh,
family's house.
Mira, y el ministro me está mandando textos, algo así, donde me dice que estamos, que está cuidada en la casa.
We're at my family's house right now. She just had lunch. We stopped and bought her a nice little meal.
Y está almorzando porque paramos a comer algo.
So now she's getting ready to go through the training process as well as a way to see if this is God's will.
Y vamos a ver el entrenamiento y ver si esta es la voluntad de Dios.
If you hear anything from the Lord, please let me know.
Y si escuchas algo del Señor, por favor, déjamelo saber. Oh.
So the husband of her mother, of course, that she's taking care of, helping take care of the mother, Papa cooks. So he puts all the food. Renee can have whatever food she wants out of the refrigerator.
Y Papa, que es el esposo de la señora, de la mamá del ministro, cocina y deja toda la comida y para que René pueda comer lo que quiera.
Reverend Denise Renee.
¿Qué?
Reverend Denise Renee, who told Renee that Renee means born again.
Y
Born of the
parece que
Spirit.
René va a nacer nuevamente.
So without trust and without abject following and clearing those denials, see?
Y porque sin seguir y no clarificar estas negaciones,
And you can ask Jesus, is this the most perfect helpfulness for the whole?
y esto, podemos preguntar si todo esto es lo más perfecto y útil para todos.
And is this the power of joining to look to hear guidance fully?
Y ese es el poder de unirnos y escuchar la guía
I mean,
completamente.
we all cried because within one day, the Reverend wasn't thinking of having a live in, and suddenly they're out. She's willing to go out and buy a bed. They're buying food, asking Renee, what special things would you like in the refrigerator?
Y de un día, en un día, salir y que pase todo esto y que ella esté cuidada y que le den todo lo que haya en el refrigerador.
And I've got the Reverend sending me emails going, well, our only interest in is following Jesus, and her only interest is following Jesus.
Y el ministro me escribe y me dice, nuestro único interés es seguir a Jesús y el único interés de René también es seguir a Jesús.
So thank you, Renee. We told your story for you, and then if you jump on and sometime you can give it from your perspective.
Y bueno, aquí, gracias René, hemos contado la historia desde aquí y si te puedes unir, nos puedes contar la historia desde tu perspectiva.
But I mean, I'm just so in love with that reverend. I can hardly. You're just in love. It's
Sí,
like a love festival.
y es como un amor, hay un festival de amor con este reverendo.
You know, I'm thinking, oh, the Reverend might know someone that she could. No, the Reverend's mother. She goes, we both agreed. She said, we feel like the Lord sent her to us, and she feels the Lord sent her to us.
Nosotros pensamos que el ministro podía saber de alguien más, pero nunca pensamos que fuera a ir a ser su madre. Y bueno,
So if Jesus has given you an assignment, follow it. Don't delay. Go for it.
si Jesús te está dando una asignación, simplemente síguelo, ve por ello
And leverage the power of your brother.
y confía en el poder de tus hermanos.
And demand of yourself that you hear it clearly and do not settle for anything less than that.
Y reclama o escucharlo totalmente y no aceptes nada que no sea eso.
It's important to realize that accepting guidance is accepting the miracle.
Porque es importante ver que aceptar la guía es aceptar el milagro.
It's accepting all the love the Father has for us.
Es aceptar todo el amor que el Padre tiene para nosotros.
So Mary's going to go through with you the questions on the worksheet so you can have those time and space rearrangements that got Renee on a bus to land right in Jesus's lap in the Podunkus of Texas.
Entonces, Mary va a venir a trabajar con nosotros a través de las la hoja de trabajo y para que sigamos como René, que salió desde aquí hasta Texas.
Love you.
Love
Oh,
you.
we'll see you in live satsang on Wednesday.
Nos vemos en el satsang del miércoles en vivo.
I'm just going to pause the video while Mary comes and sits.
Y voy a parar el video un momento mientras
There's
viene
Renee.
Mary.
Renee! Are you able?
Parece
I
que
don't know.
She's having internet connection problems.
Okay.
Parece que tiene problemas con el
Oops.
internet.
There she goes. Oh, she's outside.
Oh. So we're asking to unmute you. I
we
don't know. Okay, there
Yeah.
she is. She's trying
Can
to
you
pick
hear
up. So
Yes.
we kind of shared the steps, but that you followed and where you end up.
Yeah.
But if there's anything you want to share else that Jesus is telling you to say, I think inquiring minds want to know.
Ya contamos algo de la historia, pero si escuchas escuchas de Jesús, que quieras compartir, cuéntanos.
Yeah, gratitude for following.
Gratitud por seguir.
Seeing how he's giving me everything I need in a spontaneous way.
Que me ha dado todo lo que yo puedo necesitar de una manera espontánea.
Definitely this this sort of assignment was not in my comfort zone.
Y realmente esta asignación no estaba en mi zona de confort.
But I've just been completely received by Denise, Pastor Denise and her family.
Pero estoy en una actitud de recibir y de el pastor Denise y su familia.
Can you speak just a little bit louder so everyone can hear you, Renee?
Yes. Okay.
¿Puedes hablar un poco más duro, René?
Did you heard what I said before?
Yes, about being totally received. That's so beautiful. I
Yes.
told them that Papa is cooking all the
Yes.
food for you.
Y aquí estamos contando que papá está cocinando para ti.
Yeah. And yeah, and like in the worldly sense, I don't have any experience. So this is all just light training. It's all just listening to Jesus, you know, speaking what he's saying and following. It's total, like exactly. It couldn't be more perfect to this what I'll let you translate it.
No pudo haber sido más perfecto el seguir y escuchar y seguir la guía.
Yeah, we all had tears in our eyes that day. It was just, we just could, it was like
Ese
so
día nosotros
profound.
teníamos lágrimas en los ojos, fue muy profundo.
You know, we see that we go together, you and I, in this.
Eh, Nos damos cuenta que tú y yo vamos juntos en esto.
Yes, and it really is like not knowing anything
Realmente es no saber nada
and just being open to and to really follow exactly whatever the guidance is being given, to really follow it exactly. I can just see there's just this fine tuning going on.
y es abrirnos a recibir y seguir la guía.
So that I have the confidence to just rest as light.
Y tener esta confianza de descansar en la luz.
And joining, just the continuous joining has been so helpful.
Y continuar uniéndome ha sido muy útil.
Yeah, she's been so willing to just stay joined and ask and learning how to ask.
Y ella ha estado muy dispuesta a unirse y a preguntar y a aprender a preguntar.
So this is so important again to ask Jesus, because you can all talk to Jesus. Is this what's truly most helpful in guidance for healing the mind? Yes or no? You really want to start hearing this.
Y tú vas a querer comenzar a aprender a preguntar si esto es si fue esto lo más útil para la sanación de la mente.
And what do you hear?
¿Y qué escuchan?
Yes.
Yes, right.
Y escucha que sí.
Yeah, and she's like got that glow. You get the God glow. You got the God glow being in holy purpose.
Tú tienes el globo, no sé, de seguir a Dios.
Yeah, and when I was having trouble connecting, there was no stress or anything. It was just kind of like, okay, what do I need to see? What's most helpful right now?
Y por ejemplo, que ahora que no me podía conectar, no estuve estresada, simplemente que tengo que ver aquí, que tengo que ver ahora.
Yeah, just I was noticing, the doubt thoughts about speaking, sharing right now.
Porque tenía dudas de compartir.
It is really interesting. I mentioned the homelessness and clearing that. It was like almost as soon
Uh-huh.
as that was
Yeah.
cleared that the place was provided. Is that right?
Eh,
Yes.
y y compartimos aquí que el deseo de estar sin hogar y cómo el hogar ha sido proveído.
Yeah. Yeah, that I was hearing to share that, so thank you for
Estabas
mentioning that.
escuchando compartir eso, gracias por mencionarlo.
Is there anything else you'd like to share? It's very beautiful.
Algo más
Yeah.
por compartir, es
Yeah.
muy hermoso.
I would remind Renee that, because I was going to share if you didn't come on, that you had assignments that were given by Jesus through the center. And Kay and I, all three of us, were in touch multiple times a day. And Renee had a summary in the morning and the evening that she gave us from Jesus about what she was going to get done or what she got done. And then she had assignments through the center. Oops, sorry.
Y ella ha tenido asignaciones desde el centro que se le han puesto y tenemos una lista de que vamos chequeando por las mañanas y por las mañanas.
Yeah, here it's 24/7 Jesus. I mean, I really can't yeah, it's it's like
Ah,
total love, 100%, 24 Jesus. That's all
eh,
that this is about, and it's yeah.
Aquí es 7 por 24 Jesús. Aquí todo es alrededor de
Mm.
Jesús.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you for sharing,
Thank you.
Renee.
Gracias por
Yeah,
compartir,
thank you
René.
for having me.
Thanks for taking us on the journey with you.
Gracias por llevarnos en esta jornada contigo.
Okay, give Denise and everybody a hug from us. We love them.
Sí. Dile a Denis
Okay, so I'm going to
que
turn
lo
this.
amamos.
I'll turn this over to Mary for everyone to look at their guidance and to see that they're following and confirm with Jesus that they're choosing what's most helpful to heal the mind.
Y ahora entonces pasamos con Mary, que nos va a mostrar lo más, la guía que hemos recibido, porque es lo más útil para la sanación de la mente.
Thank you.
Okay, it's
Thank
beautiful.
you, Kay.
Love you, Renee.
Te amamos, René.
Love you. Thank you.
Hola, everyone.
Hola a todos.
Thanks for bringing your light here this evening to share with all of us.
Gracias por traer su luz y compartir esta noche con nosotros.
So let's all join in the light. We're already there. We are it. Let's just focus on the light for just a minute.
Bueno, vamos a enfocarnos en la luz por un minuto.
And we ask Jesus, Holy Spirit, just to speak with us, continue to speak with us as we develop this relationship with that inner voice of light.
y les pedimos a Jesús que hable a través de nosotros mientras vamos generando esta confianza con nuestra guía.
Okay. So what we're going to do is go around and share an activity or a choice we made this last week, or perhaps it's in the future, or the third category, which I brought up last time around food, which is what we don't want to look at. Maria?
Sorry, I was talking, okay. Ahora vamos a mirar hacia las listas que tenemos de lo que hemos hecho en el pasado, en el futuro, o en el caso mío que yo hablé la vez pasada de la tercera lista, que son las cosas que no quiero hablar con Jesús.
So we're going to try to make these as clean and clear and concise
Lo vamos a tratar de hacer claro y conciso,
as we can.
como lo que más podamos.
And I'm going to start.
Y voy a comenzar yo.
So the activity that, the choice that I was looking at in the last 2 weeks was the choice to complete my 2+ year stay here at the center.
What about you staying in the center?
Yes, I've been, yeah, I was looking at the choice. I thought I was being prompted to complete my 2 years, it's actually almost 2.5 years, stay here at the center.
Yo estaba mirando la función de haber estado 2 años aquí en el centro, que realmente en estos momentos son como 2 años y medio.
And I thought I was hearing clear guidance because I had committed to 2 years.
Porque yo pensé que estaba escuchando bien la guía y porque creí que yo estaba muy comprometida por 2 años
And I stayed here longer.
y me he estado más tiempo aquí.
So anyway, the activity I looked at, or the choice I looked at, was completing this 2 year program, and I went through all the questions.
Y entonces lo que hice es ir a través de todas las preguntas.
And basically, what I heard, and I also joined with my mighty companions here, was that no, my time at the center was not complete yet.
Y lo que escuchamos, incluso uniéndome con los compañeros aquí del centro, es que la asignación de los 2 años, la asignación no ha sido completada todavía.
And what Jesus was showing me was that, oh, hello. What Jesus was showing me was actually there was a lot of rage in wanting to leave because my preferences were not getting met.
Lo que Jesús me mostró es que había mucha rabia y me quería ir porque mis preferencias no se cumplían.
When I joined with my mighty companions here to look at this, they all heard no, it was not time for me to leave.
Y cuando me uní con todos mis compañeros, escuchamos que no era tiempo de irme.
So, I'm not leaving.
Así que no me voy a ir.
And I'm not going to get into all of it, but it was there was a lot of upset around it because I was almost ready to buy my plane ticket.
Y lo que puedo decir es que hay mucha rabia en esto y estuve casi a comprar mi tiquete.
So, in conclusion, we spent 3 hours yesterday and 3 hours today looking at the desire for rage.
Y así que en conclusión estuvimos 3 horas ayer y 3 horas hoy viendo el deseo de la rabia.
So that may give you an idea of how much focus there is here at the center in particular on really looking deep with Jesus, Holy Spirit, and going clear to the bottom of some of these desires.
Y esto les puede dar una idea de lo profundo que vamos aquí en el centro y hasta que vayamos, sí, vayamos hasta lo más profundo para liberar estos deseos.
And it just feels like a huge weight has been lifted out off of me.
Y siento que ha sido como un gran peso que se me ha quitado.
So I'm going to stop there. There's more to say.
Así que voy a,
I'm
hay
going to
más para
stop
decir,
here.
pero voy a parar ahí.
Yes. And Lori, do you have something to
Sure,
share?
I'll go.
Okay.
Ahora Lori va a compartir.
Hello, hello.
Hola, hola.
Yes. Okay. So I asked Jesus what to look at,
Yo le pregunté a Jesús cuál mirar
and he brought me to column 3.
y él me trajo a la columna 3.
And that column is what you don't want to ask Jesus.
Y esa columna es lo que no le quieres preguntar a Jesús.
And what I heard was everything.
Y lo que yo escuché fue todo.
Okay, so I started question 1, start with delay, ask myself. I asked for help releasing any desire not to hear and follow guidance.
Y así que comencé por el punto número 1 y liberar cualquier deseo de no escuchar la guía.
And I heard that I'm not willing to ask on everything.
Y lo que escuché es que no estoy dispuesta a preguntar en todo.
And then question 2, Jesus, is there any guidance prompts you have given me that I don't want to hear?
Y me fue a la pregunta 2 que dice, ¿alguna guía que me estés indicando que no quiera escuchar?
And I looked at the top of our sheet here for nightly clearing.
What? Sorry?
And what came to me was to constantly be asking for guidance.
Y lo que él me mostraba era que es lo importante de pedir siempre la guía.
So that's the prompt. The prompt is constantly ask me for guidance.
Y así que la tarea es, pregúntame la guía todo el tiempo.
And I didn't want to hear that.
Y yo no quería escuchar eso.
So going down, do I prefer to the experience of death
Y entonces fue la pregunta, ¿prefiero la muerte
more than guidance?
más que la guía?
And what I heard is yes.
Y lo que escuché es que sí.
And then I moved down the questions because it seems, go ahead, Maria.
Entonces luego seguí con las otras preguntas porque parece que
In this case, 3, 4 didn't, question and 3 and 4 didn't apply.
así que la pregunta 3 y la 4 no aplican.
Okay, and then I went to 5, which is saying no to this idea coming to mind.
Y luego entonces fue la pregunta 5 que dice, decir que no a esta idea es lo mismo que
An attempt to delay the atonement.
retrasar la expiación.
Yes, I heard.
Y escuché sí.
And then then I went to 7. Jesus, am I willing to join with a brother to be clear on guidance?
Y entonces fue la pregunta 7 que estoy dispuesto a unirme a un hermano para tener más clara esta guía.
Yes, I heard.
Y escuché sí.
Okay, question 8. Jesus, is it helpful to look more deeply?
Y entonces la otra pregunta es útil mirar más profundamente
And release any objections to this guidance.
y liberar cualquier objeción a esta guía.
Okay, and then I heard yes.
Escuché que sí.
And what objections are arising around what I'm hearing?
¿Y qué objeciones surgen en torno a lo que estoy escuchando?
And I heard, I know better.
Y escuché, yo sé mejor.
And then in this session with Jesus,
Y luego en la sesión con Jesús,
earlier in preparation for this,
en preparación para esto,
I heard, pause often and remember light.
pardon, can you say again?
Pause often. Pause.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. Para constantemente
And remember light.
and remember
Remember light.
y recuerda la luz.
And this is the most important thing.
Y esa es la cosa más importante.
To turn to me in every moment.
De girarte a mí en todo momento.
And it's about the continual connection with me.
Porque es acerca de la continua conexión conmigo.
There is so much love and help for you, Lori.
Hay mucho amor y ayuda para ti, Lori.
You don't really want to do it by yourself.
Realmente tú no lo quieres hacer por tu cuenta.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lori.
Gracias.
Lena!
Incoming.
So it looks like it's going to be a late evening.
Parece que va a ser una larga noche. Ahora viene Evangelina.
Hola. Hola.
Hola, amada.
Les voy a compartir lo que Jesús quiere que comparta.
I am going to share what the Jesus told me to share.
Y el propósito de estar 6 meses aquí en el centro es que es llamado a un ministro, a formarme como ministro.
The reason that I have for 6 months here is because I was called to be a minister.
Así es que Jesús quiere que comparta esto porque me hizo consciente de cómo me encontré diciendo no quiero hacer esto. Ya había decidido que sí al principio, pero después cuando hace unos días yo misma dije no voy a hacer esto.
Jesus want me to share this because I a few days I decided to say no to this invitation and decir no a esta invitación. ¿Y qué?
Sí, así es que le pregunté, Jesús, ¿actuar sobre esto es lo más útil para sanar la mente? Esa es la pregunta 2.
So I asked Jesus if
Hacer
¿cuál es
esto
la
es lo más
to
útil.
do this ¿cuál es la segunda? Es que lo tengo en español, no lo tengo en inglés, me toca conseguir el de inglés.
Sí, disculpa si
¿Hay
la digo
alguna?
mal.
al-
Hacer esto es más útil para sanar la mente.
So I ask if to do this is the most helpful for the healing of the mind.
Y por supuesto que no, porque me estoy negando.
And I think the answer is no because it's a denial.
O sea que ser ministro sería sanar la mente.
Because be a minister is heal my mind.
Y la pregunta 4 dice, aceptar esto como aceptar todo el amor del Padre sobre mí. Y escuché
¿Qué escuchaste?
que
¿Sí?
sí.
To accept this is to accept all the love that the Father has for me, and I hear yes.
Y seguir esta idea o es una negación de todo el amor que el Padre tiene para mí.
Y decir no. And to say no is to deny all the love that the Father has for me.
Yes. Así
Y
es
la-
que decir que no a esta idea es un intento de retroceder, retrasar la expiación. Y escuché que
eh,
sí.
to say no to this idea is to try to delay the atonement, and I hear yes.
Y luego la 6. Siguiendo con esto, es una evasión de la luz y un intento de negar la expiación. Y escuché que sí.
To avoid this is an intent to deny an atonement, and I hear yes.
Y luego, Jesús, estoy dispuesta a unirme a un hermano para tener más claro esta orientación.
And then question 7, I am willing to join a brother to clarify this this prompt. ¿Qué escuchaste? Yes,
Que sí. Y
and
como
I
aquí
hear
nos
yes.
estamos, y como aquí nos estamos uniendo permanentemente,
And we are joining here all the time.
escuché que era el deseo de no sentirme valiosa para Dios.
And I hear that it was the desire to not to feel valuable for God, or yes.
Y bueno, nada más compartiendo rápidamente un poquito esto con lo que está pasando con René.
And to share a little bit about René.
Y cuando recibimos la noticia de que Jesús le estaba proveyendo todo, yo sentí un milagro para mí.
When we hear that Jesus was providing everything to her, I felt a miracle to me.
Porque mi oración era pedirle ayuda a Jesús, porque mi ego estaba al 100% en la negación.
Because I was praying a lot to Jesus because my ego was 100%.
Y prácticamente con ese milagro me puse de rodillas.
And practically with that miracle, he put me on my knees.
Así es que gracias, René.
Oh, so thank you, Renee, for that.
Porque de ahí en adelante las cosas han cambiado.
Because from that moment, the thing had changed a lot.
Y esto demuestra cómo vamos juntos.
And this is show me that we are together. We
Gracias.
are working together.
Gracias, Jesús, y gracias, hermanos poderosos.
Gracias.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, sisters.
Nancy.
Okay. I didn't do mine exactly like that, but it answers most of the questions.
Okay, no lo hice exactamente como ustedes, pero he contestado las preguntas.
For the last, maybe 3 weeks, Jesus has brought up the subject of identity with me.
Subject of what? Sorry.
Identity, who I am.
Okay, Jesús, estos últimos días se me está trabajando con mi identidad. ¿Quién soy yo?
And he started out by saying that I was trying to make myself something I was not.
Y me mostró que yo que estoy tratando de ser algo que no soy.
And so that started me asking, well, then who am I?
Entonces me llevó a la pregunta, ¿quién soy yo?
And last week during the light circles, he showed me some answers to that question.
Y la semana pasada, a través de los círculos de luz, él me mostró la respuesta a parte de la respuesta a esa pregunta.
And I'll just read some of them.
Así que voy a leer algo.
Let's see. Oh, where do I start? Okay.
¿Por dónde comienzo?
On Monday,
El lunes
Jesus told me to keep asking, what is my real identity?
él me mantuvo diciendo que debía continuar preguntándome cuál es mi real identidad.
Because I had heard I am spirit,
Porque había escuchado que soy espíritu,
I am the Christ.
yo soy el Cristo.
And so I did keep asking.
Y así que me mantuve preguntando.
And one of the things he said on Monday was,
Una de las cosas que me dijo el lunes fue,
denying yourself love is denying your true identity.
negar el amor que eres es negar tu identidad.
Then on Tuesday,
Luego el martes,
in the morning light circle,
en la sesión de la mañana, el círculo de la mañana,
Jesus showed me my real identity again.
Jesús me mostró nuevamente la identidad verdadera.
I am my brother.
Yo soy mi hermano,
I am the world.
yo soy el mundo,
I am Jesus.
yo soy Jesús.
And there were tears of joy at that.
Y hubo lágrimas de gozo en eso.
And the kind of the theme of this week was love.
Así que el tema de esta semana fue el amor,
That I am love.
que yo soy amor.
And it was not all just listening.
No fue simplemente escuchar.
I was talking with some friends,
Estuve hablando con algunos amigos
and they turned away from me and started talking among themselves, pointedly.
y ellos comenzaron a hablar de ellos.
And I backslid a little bit.
Y yo me hice como, me hice a un lado.
And Jesus told me that I made up that whole scene with the conversation.
Y Jesús me mostró que yo había hecho toda esa escena de esta conversación.
And it never happened.
Y que nunca pasó.
So that was another attempt to deny my true identity.
Y eso fue otra forma de negar mi identidad. Otro intento.
On Thursday, Jesus showed me the love of God
El jueves me mostró el amor del Padre
right here, right now.
aquí y ahora.
And Jesus told me I am the love of God.
Y Jesús me dijo que yo era el amor del Padre.
And once again,
Y nuevamente,
I got into a conversation with someone,
entré en una conversación con alguien
and I thought they got kind of condescending and passive aggressive.
y estaba siendo condescendiente
And Jesus told me, no, I made all that up again.
Jesús me mostró que yo también lo estaba haciendo, lo estaba fabricando.
He told me I got condescending to myself.
Que estoy siendo condescendiente conmigo misma,
And it's all in me. It's all happening in me.
que todo está pasando en mí.
Friday, there was anger.
El viernes había rabia
And Jesus was right there with me.
y Jesús nuevamente conmigo
And he told me,
él me dijo,
if you are angry, you are denying yourself.
y si tú tienes rabia, te estás negando a ti misma.
And later that day, he showed me again, I am the love of God.
Y nuevamente me mostró que yo soy el amor del Padre.
Saturday,
El sábado
I was holding grievances.
estaba manteniendo resentimientos.
And Jesus told me,
Y Jesús me dijo,
I was not completely believing I am the Son of God.
que no estaba completamente aceptando que soy o creyendo que soy la hija de Dios.
And he told me to relish the joy of talking to the farmer.
Y que me dijo que disfrutara que sintiera el disfrute de hablar con el farmacéutico
At the farmer's market.
en la farmacéutica.
He told me to relish life.
Él me dijo que disfrutara la luz
and to relish joining in God.
y disfrutar unirme en Dios.
Nancy, can you start bringing it to a close, hon?
That's enough. That's enough.
Yo creo
At
que
the
eso es
end.
suficiente.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, ongoing conversation all the time with Jesus. That's amazing.
Esa es una conversación constante con Jesús. Eso es maravilloso.
Okay, Renate.
Renate.
Yeah. I think I didn't get it completely right.
Parece que no lo entendí completamente correctamente.
I downloaded the worksheet and
No bajé la página, la hoja de trabajo.
try to do it the right way, but I'm not sure.
No estoy tan segura.
Yeah. I shared on Thursday that what Jesus told the week or 10 days before, that unexpected somebody showed up to do trauma work with me.
La vez pasada compartí que alguien había tenido como una especie de drama conmigo.
Yes. And that happened twice.
Y eso pasó 2 veces.
And after that, I have the feeling partly hell broke loose.
Y luego tuve como una sensación de pérdida.
Yeah. I experienced on Friday morning, I had an appointment with the immigration for my temporal.
Pardon, can you say it again?
On Friday morning, I had an appointment with the immigration for my
Ok, ok. El viernes en la mañana tuve una cita en inmigración
for my temporal.
para la visa temporal.
And I knew already that it was authorized. So it was just going there and for an interview and some picture and stuff like that.
Y ya estaba autorizada, pero tuve que hacer una entrevista y unas fotos. Mm.
And I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning and was in sheer panic.
Y luego a las 5 de la mañana ya estaba en pánico,
And for not a real reason.
por ninguna razón real.
And since then, I'm on and off with depression, loneliness, feeling sick in my body.
Y desde ese momento he estado sintiéndome como sola, enferma en mi cuerpo.
And I asked Jesus to show me below my level of awareness.
Y le pedí a Jesús que me mostrara qué había debajo de mi nivel de conciencia.
If I'm miscreating all these experiences and what is behind it.
Y que si yo fabriqué estas situaciones y qué hay detrás de ellas.
I don't have an answer until now.
Y no tengo una respuesta hasta ahora.
I got the idea.
Tengo la idea
then I'm doing that because I don't want to live this life.
tengo la idea de que estoy haciendo esto porque no quiero dejar esta vida.
Okay, can we start bringing this to a close? I think I need to clarify something. We're to take one situation, one decision, and look at it with Jesus and go through these questions. And it's a yes, no, and what did Jesus say? So, yeah.
Aquí creo que tenemos que hacer una clarificación. Se trata de buscar una actividad pasada, futura, y ir a través de esas preguntas y preguntarle a Jesús, sí, no, sí, no.
So we're just at the beginning stages of this guidance sharing.
Voy a comenzar, ir al comienzo de esta guía de trabajo.
So we'll just continue to clarify with Spirit what this, the most useful way for this to be shared.
Y siempre le estamos preguntando cuál es la forma más útil para compartir esto.
So with the worksheet, you just take one choice, and then you go through the questions, and you talk about any objections you hear, what you're hearing from Jesus.
Y entonces, a través de esta hoja, tú escoges una opción y vas a través de las preguntas.
So, is there anything, a final comment or share from Jesus you wanna share with us, Renate?
¿Quieres compartir algo al respecto, Renata?
No, I got stuck with the question, and I think I should have with the mighty companion to join and go through this.
Yes.
Ella escucha que quedó como atorada en esto y que pronto sería útil unirse con un compañero.
I just take a sheet of paper and I write the decision or the activity that I want to talk to Jesus about, and was it in guidance or was it not? And then I just take a sheet of paper and answer the questions. Yes, no, yes, no. And then were there any objections? And it goes fast.
Y entonces miras, pones el tema, vas pregunta por pregunta, le preguntas a Jesús y eso se vuelve muy rápido.
But joining with a mighty companion would help to clarify all of that. Yeah.
Pero unirse con un compañero puede ayudarte a clarificar eso.
So Renate, what did you out of all of this? Can you just summarize for us what Jesus was telling you? What one statement about that?
Una frase, Renate, que nos pueda concluir lo que escuchaste a Jesús acerca de esto.
No, I don't know.
Okay,
No,
Sorry.
that's okay. Okay, thank you, Renate.
gracias,
I
Nani.
have to learn that, how it works.
Yeah, it's okay.
Tengo que aprender cómo funciona.
Okay, Fran.
Sorry about that. I am really resisting this process. That's what's very clear.
Yo me estoy resistiendo bastante, eso es claro.
I was prompted by Jesus after Thursday. Well, let's put it this way. I got a thought.
Entonces, desde el miércoles he estado como que debo hacer esto guiada por Jesús, pero tuve el pensamiento de a todo.
And to use a certain journal I have to for this process.
De usar un calendario, una agenda que tengo para este proceso.
And what I'm realizing is a thought.
Lo que me di cuenta es que el pensamiento
is I need to go into the questions and check it out with Jesus.
Lo que entendí es que tenía que ir a través de las preguntas y revisar con Jesús.
And this is getting really clear. I'm just getting this download tonight, listening to everybody. And I got one phrase from Jesus: if you're not going to listen to me, listen to your mighty companions tonight. Because
entonces, lo que tengo ahora claro es que Jesús me dice que si no lo escucho a él, que lo escuche a través de de un compañero poderoso.
Lori almost like cut my head off and read everything. You know what I mean? That I'm going, oh. So, I hear you, Jesus. True Lord, I hear you, Jesus. And Nancy said some things,
entonces, bueno, Lori me mostró que debo hacerlo, como que es útil hacerlo, y lo mismo alguien que compartió que le dio como una cachetada porque para que la ayuda como a despertar a hacer esto.
I did do some of these things.
Hice algunas cosas de esto.
I had also wanted to address the eating, because almost verbatim from what Mary had said the last Thursday.
Entonces también quería mirar como este tema de la comida y de creer que me va a ser prohibido o comer.
I was using it to avoid and not look, not feel, really, to stay mindless at times.
Y eso lo estaba usando para evadir y para estar como sin mente por momentos.
So when I was checking in with Jesus about the eating, or I was kind of bragging, I'm going, oh, well, I ate this and this, and that's only, so I was at a point in my day where I said, oh, that's only 300 calories for, this period of
Y
time.
bueno, entonces comencé a revisar como el tema de la comida, pero como muy dudosa, y comencé a mirar, bueno, entonces lo de las calorías y cosas de esas.
And I got a prompt reply. It's not about calories, it's about asking me and following me.
Y entonces escuché claramente que no se trataba de las calorías, sino era escúchame, pregúntame y sígueme.
So I did right then and there.
En ese momento lo hice.
So I said, okay, what do you want me to do right now?
Y le pregunté, bueno, ¿qué quieres que haga ahora mismo?
He said, sit in stillness for 18 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Siéntate tranquilamente por 8 minutos.
And I did.
Y lo
I-
hice.
Basically, I would think it was his nice way of saying, just shut up and listen.
Algo así como fue, como cállate.
But, he's lucky I have a sense of humor. So
Jesús tiene su sentido del humor.
he's pretty droll with me. And then I asked Jesus, because I'm with Lori, I want to underline that. I kept going, constantly you want me to ask? I mean, come on. So I said,
Y estoy con Lori, es como que constantemente tengo que estar preguntando constantemente.
okay. So I said, okay, Jesus, should I go shopping for groceries? Yes or no? Because that was on.
Entonces le pregunté, ¿tengo que ir al mercado a hacer mercado? Entonces, ¿sí o no?
Okay, Fran, I think we're going to stop here because we're just one thing. And everybody, please, one thing we're going to focus on. And look at that. And it's about an activity or a choice. Jesus, was I in guidance or was I not in guidance? So let's just stop there. We're refining this, but Mary's going to step in and oversee some of this. So thank you, Fran. Thank you.
Okay.
Así que gracias, Sam, pero es solo un punto que se puede compartir.
Okay, Philomena.
Yes, I had a decision to make
Tengo una decisión que tomar.
to visit my friend, and that was yesterday, and I didn't ask for guidance.
Y eso fue ayer, era visitar a una amiga y no pregunté por guía.
Deliberately didn't ask for guidance because I said, this is my duty and I just have to go and do it.
Y no pregunté por guía porque simplemente sabía que esa era mi tarea y simplemente la hice.
So I got in my car,
Y
put
cuando
my
iba en mi
GPS
carro,
on,
con mi GPS puesto,
and there was a crash on the
y
highway,
hubo un accidente en la vía.
and I heard Jesus say, don't go today. It's not for the healing of your mind. So
Y escuché, Jesús, no vayas hoy, eso no es útil para la sanación de tu mente.
So I came out immediately and went back home and I said, okay, I'm not going today. I'm going to follow guidance. So I said,
Y entonces me regresé a mi hogar y simplemente dije, bueno, entonces voy a seguir la guía.
so this morning when I woke up, I said, okay, Jesus, should I go today?
Y entonces
said,
esta
yes.
mañana cuando me desperté le pregunté, Jesús, ¿debería ir hoy? Y escuché
No
sí.
crash. I got in my car. I just,
Y me monté en
I
mi
had
carro y
this-
no hubo ningún accidente.
but I had this discomfort and I was just doing it as my duty. And Jesus knew that. So he said, don't worry about anything. Just take me with you and everything will be okay.
Y escuché que Jesús me decía que simplemente lo lleve conmigo y que todo va a estar bien.
So I went to my friend's place, and she's got a stroke, so she cannot communicate. Very hard to be with her. And that's the discomfort.
Y bueno, fui a donde ella y ella tiene algo que no es fácil estar con ella.
So I sat with her. She was very happy to see me.
Y ella estaba muy feliz de verme.
She was lucid. I mean, she was there. She was not able to speak, but she was there. I could feel her presence.
Y ella no estaba, digamos, no podía escuchar, pero yo sentía su presencia.
And we just looked at each other and we were just I was feeling this connection, and I could feel Jesus was with me.
Y bueno, y yo la comencé a sentir y se sentía como una desconexión, pero como Jesús estaba conmigo,
And then I just got inspired. I almost heard him say something, read a book to her.
y
Because she
entonces
was,
sentí la inspiración de leerle un libro.
and she used to be a writer, and she was an avid reader. So I asked her, do you read? And she said no.
Entonces le pregunté si ella leía y dijo que no.
So I said, would you like me to read? And she said yes. And I could see the light in her eyes.
Y entonces le pregunté que si quería que le leyera y me dijo que sí y vi la luz en sus ojos.
So I asked her, fiction, non-fiction? She said fiction. So I just picked up a book, showed it to her. She said, okay.
Y
So
entonces
what
escogí un
is
libro.
Jesus telling you about all this? Excuse me, Maria, go ahead.
Jesus was not telling me what book, but I was not sure. I was looking at the bookshelf. I didn't ask at that point.
Well, I
Sure.
guess the question is, was it in guidance for you to go and you heard it was? And so this was for the healing of the mind, and then there are the questions that you can go through.
Yeah.
Mind.
I'm coming to that. What happened is finally, after I read the book, I read chapter 1, I could feel the connection, and I could feel all my discomfort about visiting her had left me. And that from
Entonces,
now on,
en ese momento cuando yo leí, sentí la conexión con ella, pues, le leí el capítulo 1, y ese como no confort de ir a estar allá se eliminó.
so from now on, I'm feeling that release has come about this. I don't feel this discomfort. I
Y
just go and
entonces
visit.
siento que estoy liberada de ese falta de confort.
So the
que
You're
guidance,
sentí.
asking Jesus. You're asking
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, and the guidance to go has released. This was how it released today, by just
Okay,
following
y
guidance
seguir,
throughout.
y seguir la guía fue lo que me permitió liberarme de esto.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Philomena.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Maria.
Oh my gosh, me?
Yes, you.
Okay, I have been. I don't want to do this actually. Yeah, I try to do it. Yeah, it's a lot of resistance. Yeah. He tenido mucha resistencia en hacer esto. Oh my God, bastante, bastante. And especially about when it things that you don't want to talk with Jesus. Because especialmente acerca de las cosas que no quiero hablar con Jesús. I feel like Lori it was the same thing, but the thing in my case is that the question 7, if I'm willing to join with a brother, the answer is no. I don't want to join with a brother to talk about this. Oh my gosh.
Good to see.
Yes, I know. But yeah, I think I have to release all of this energy around the resistance because If no, I am not going to move on this.
You want to
Y
translate
yo
for
creo,
Lena?
ya, sí, yo siento que si no libero este deseo de resistencia no voy a poder avanzar en esto. Entonces, y el punto 7 que miré es que si me quería unir con un compañero para mirar acerca de esto y escuché que no.
Well, thank you for sharing, Maria, even when you didn't want to.
Sí, gracias por compartir, María.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose of this, is just to go ahead and jump in and do it anyway. And he was just talking to me that I have this thing that I think I'm talking to like another person, like Jesus, the historical figure. No.
Y bueno, esto es muy útil porque, oh my God, I lost everything. Okay, just a moment. I have the desire not to hear. Can you say again? Tengo el
It's just,
deseo de no escuchar.
we think Mary thinks she's talking to a person, like Jesus, the person.
Yeah. Es que yo creo que Mary cree que hablar es hablar con una figura, como una persona de Jesús.
And he was just showing me it's not like that.
Y él me muestra que no es como eso.
If you think about the author of A Course in Miracles and the author of Jesus, the New Covenant,
Pero si tú piensas como el autor de Un Curso de Milagros y de Jesús un Nuevo Convenio,
that energy, that light,
esa energía, esa luz,
that's what we're talking to.
hacia esas luces que estamos hablando.
That just made it easier for me.
Eso lo hace más fácil para mí.
So, again, what I'm hearing is that we're just learning how to do this.
Y lo que escucho es que nosotros estamos aprendiendo a ver cómo se hace esto.
And something else I practice while you're each speaking, I asked Jesus, was that in guidance to go do that trip or go do that or go? I'm still talking with Jesus while we're doing this.
Y mientras estamos hablando de esto aquí, yo voy preguntándole a Jesús, ¿estuvo en guía que ella fuera? O cada cosa que estoy escuchando, estoy preguntando si estuvo en guía.
So it's like 24/7 practice. And so when we come to these sessions, we're going to look at one thing and go through the questions.
Y lo que vamos a hacer es que siempre vamos a traer una cosa, un punto, un tema y vamos a ir por las preguntas.
Was it in guidance? Yes or no?
¿Fue en guía, sí o no?
That's it.
Así
So we're all
que,
learning,
así que todos estamos aprendiendo.
and all of us have been practicing talking to Jesus.
Y todos estamos invitados a hablar con Jesús.
And so we just bring that here to share with each other.
Y traerlos aquí y compartirlos. Con
So
todos.
thank you.
Así que
Thank you,
gracias.
everyone.
Gracias a todos.
And Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Central, Kay will be doing an Honesty of God. Let's see, Honesty and God, what was the rest of it? And guidance. Honesty of God and Miracle Mindedness. Live talk on
Ok.
Wednesday.
El miércoles vamos a tener una charla en vivo con Kate que nos va a hablar de la honestidad de Dios que nos lleva a ser unos obradores de milagros.
And of course, everyone's invited to the morning and evening light circle joinings, and we look at desires with Jesus.
Y por supuesto que están invitados por las mañanas y las tardes a mirar deseos con Jesús.
So it's always good to be in your presence. Thank you so much.
Así que es muy útil estar en tu presencia. Gracias.
Love you all.
Thank you. Thank
Los
you.
amamos a
night.
todos.
Good night.
Buenas
Good
noches.
night.
Good night.
Good night.
Ah.
Good night.